Hey yo, this is Britt. Doing a Bible study wrap up, and it was Passion, and it's from the book Church Jesus Without Fear. And it's on William Mary and Ralph Hodge. So the first one was on Passion, and it was book week 2 is on Passion. And it was talking about a man who wrote a letter to his church. And the church was a lady who wrote a letter to the church, and the church was looking at the letter, and the pastor went to her house. And it was interesting that the pastor went to the house, and the lady came to the church, and her and her husband and family joined church. And the question was, he asked when she joined church, he said, what made you join the church? Was we the only church? She said, no, I sent the letter to every church in every community, but you're the only one who responded. And it touched me because I'm like, and the question was, how would your church respond? And the way one did, would you respond the same way this church responded? And most people would be like, no, because we asked questions. It was like, we're scared of who we talk to. We're scared of what people are going to say about us. We're scared of coming out of our own box and being in our own way. So we don't want to talk to folks because we're scared of who we may encounter, and we may not have the right things to say, or how we come off, that we don't come off Christian enough, And it's sometimes we got to realize it ain't about how you come off. It's a point that you're willing to talk to somebody. And then it said you got to have a seal and based on a purpose. It is love for God. And he talked about a caring person, man, heart of brokenness, and bring hope. Heart of hopelessness, bring hope to a heart of hopelessness, and bring salvation to a heart that is lost without Jesus. And we gotta have hope. That's the best thing you can give a person, is to have hope. Sometimes we forget that it takes 7.6 times, 77 times, 777 times for a person to be introduced to Christ. And you may be the first person, the 30th person, the 77th person, but we forget sometimes that God is doing things in our lives that we need somebody to talk. Who talked to you first is the question. Who's the one that came to you and gave you hope? That led you to understand that God is trying to do something with your life. That God is trying to get you to understand that He's here. And even when we didn't know Him, but fortunately for a lot of people, that their parents was in church. Their grandparents in church, so they didn't have to worry about it. But we got, right now, we got a whole 2 or 3 generations of people that don't know God, that are lost, that have no way in, no way out. But we worried about who we're going to talk to, what we're going to say to them. Some of them just need the word hello to let them know that somebody see them and somebody even cares, And I think it was John 20:21 that says, the Father has sent me, I also send you. We are able to start speaking about what we have seen and heard. He was saying that, in Acts 4:20, that they couldn't stop talking about what they seen walking with Jesus and the things they heard. Man, can you imagine walking with Jesus and seeing the miracles and then wondering, somebody telling you to shut up and stop talking about it? How can you stop talking about this man that delivered, the man that healed so many, the man that pulled fish out of fish and bread out of bread? I don't know how you stop talking about it. And 1 Corinthians 9:20 said, look deep into your heart, because the Holy Spirit lives within you. You have always desired to share Jesus with others. Take time to confess to God. Tell Him that you want to be a part of His plan. Be a willing servant to experience God in deeper ways as He works through your life. And that's the first thing. You got to talk to God first. And then you got to be willing. You got to first be willing to go out and talk to somebody about Jesus. You got to be willing to be the intercessory for somebody who don't know Him. There's somebody who wants to know. And it's funny that they see something in you, and you worried about not having the right words to say. You already said the right words because you're living right. They see something in you that they don't see in themselves. And Paul told us this, never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spirit of favor serving the Lord. Keep serving the Lord. Don't quit and don't give up. No matter what the story tells, keep going and don't quit, And it said one more, Matthew 28:18. Witness serving requires extra time in your busy schedule. Just a great awareness. Be sensitive to the needs of lost people. In obedience, show your faith in Jesus. Help them find a way that they can grow spiritually. And that's the bottom line of the book this week. Help somebody else help themselves. Help yourself become a better Christian. Help yourself grow in faith. Be willing to talk to somebody about Jesus, because it's so funny we let people pass us by daily, but we're too scared to speak about the man that saved us. And if he covered us, I'm quite sure he'll cover you speaking to them. You can't be scared to speak out, but if you can't speak out, go with somebody who will and be their backup. Where two or three are gathered, God is in the midst. And we telling you to come on in the midst. Come on in the house. Because it's time for us to have church again. It's time for us to quit playing church and be about church. Be about God's work. He's saying that if you go out and talk to people, you got to witness. You got to be bold. And that means you also got to be brave. That means you got to step outside your own box and get out your own way sometimes. And sometimes it's us that we scared to talk to people, but people died for you to talk to them. Let God use you today. Let God have his way. Peace.